Welcome to the group.
Hey, there we go. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another episode again of the Church Communications Podcast. I'm your host, Daryl Girardier, and with as always is my co-host, Katie Allred. Today's podcast is brought to you by TouchPoint. TouchPoint is a church management system built for churches for the church. They are an online church management platform and mobile app designed to work together to keep your church connected at any time and any place. The newly launched TouchPoint mobile app enables church staff, lay leaders, and their contact information, stream, sermon, audio, and video, register for events, receive messages, complete ministry tasks, schedule marketing messages, and more. And this is because the app integrates with your TouchPoint database. Your members' contact information is correct and up to date. The mission of TouchPoint is to eliminate the need for numerous point solutions and to free you from the data silos. They want to see you make disciples, not data.
Not silos.
Not silos. That's right. Go to churchcommunications.com/touchpoint to get your free ebook about the field guide for a data-driven ministry. And again, we want to thank TouchPoint for sponsoring this episode.
Yeah, thanks TouchPoint.
Yay!
Hey, and also Skype sponsored this goal.
Yeah, Skype is providing the wonderful
world
action.
of Skype.
Yes, thank you, Skype.
All right, so let's talk about the big idea. We did a conference this week.
Done.
We can say it's in the history books.
It is.
We have accomplished it, and it is done.
Yeah. So, Katie.
How are you feeling?
Like
a champion?
No, you're funny. You mentioned that. I actually feel really good about it.
Yeah?
I feel like really
so far
good.
We've gotten really great feedback.
We have.
I looked at the surveys. We only got one disgruntled person, but there's always that one mad person, right?
Yeah. And I think
that's why we can't have nice things.
It's why we can't have nice things. And I think what we definitely saw in terms of the feedback, which again we got really great feedback, was that I think there's going to be a need for in the future to create something that's designed for people who are solo. They're one
solo kids.
They're a one-person show, or small churches. I continue to hear that need, but at the same time, I think there's also a need on the flip side for those of us who are doing multi-campus, for us to sit down and go, okay, so how are you doing multiple campuses? How do you manage all of that? So what
does that mean? More events or less events, or one event with lots of things? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a great question. I think the answer is one event with lots of things. That's my gut.
I don't know, man.
So I don't know, but anyway,
guess we'll find out.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts?
What are my thoughts on the conference? My thoughts are I'm still so tired, and I wish that wasn't true. I wish that I didn't know. I felt fine. After Friday night, I went out and did stuff, and Saturday I did stuff, and then I moved. I was like a sloth on Sunday, and then and then today I've still just been I feel like this weird hangover, conference hangover. So I'm just really tired. But I feel really good about how it went.
I do, yeah. I'm with you.
Yes.
Now, there is definitely a hangover because our office right now is full of candy. More candy than
I've ever seen, more than you would ever get on Halloween.
No, yeah,
it's not okay.
It's not okay.
I know. I don't know what we were thinking, but we had good thoughts. We thought there's a lot of people. They might eat a lot of candy.
Yeah, we also thought they'd eat 300 donuts, and they didn't do that either.
They should have not. These people must be on a gluten-free diet. We should have just bought bananas. I don't know.
Yes, that was.
Wait till finish your waistlines. Church comes.
I will say this: if you went to the conference, you ate good. You ate well, so I'm very, very pleased with that. But
yeah, we did provide some pretty stinking good food. I would like to say that. I was oh man, I'm pretty impressed with our food choices we have right now. Because
I'm very excited about our food choices too. Now, when we talk about the conference, recapping and looking back at the conference, when you think, Katie, through, let's just take the general sessions, which were basically, for those of you to use that language, it's basically when everybody was together and in the big room, if you will, to use that language. What were some of the standout moments in your mind of okay, what people said? Our keynote speakers, what were the things that kind of stood out in your mind?
So when Evan opened, he talked about, you can't run this thing on love. And I was yeah, you're right, Evan, you're right. So he just talked about processes and stuff, and I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
And then Amy talked about making Kanye's website. That's what I took away from it. With her sly, like, little, like, oh yeah, and also make Kanye's website sort of thing. Now,
Yeah.
the thing is, like, I think, anyway, I don't know. Anyways, sure, hers was great because it talked about the web and how you can make the web, like, more for each person, which is really great.
Yeah.
And like customize it to the person, to the individual. I think that's good. I think that's the future, and people needed to hear it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And then, but they were probably, it's like, I think some of it was like a little over their heads. So I was like, they needed to hear it though, because that's where,
she is, yeah, out of all of our people, she was probably the most technically advanced people when people were brought in.
I know, yeah. So, but great, and Nona, brought my jams, which is Facebook groups. Talking about Facebook groups, how you can use it for discipleship. I talk about Facebook groups more for like evangelism. Really, I think I'm really passionate about figuring out ways to use it for evangelism.
Right.
She talked a lot about how you can use it for a discipleship platform, and which you can. And so I'm mad that people aren't, because I'm like, guys, you have a free tool. You don't have to pay anything. You can just use it.
Right.
Facebook wants you to use it. And so I think she really opened up a lot of minds, and that was great. And I think she's just such a tremendous role model for like Silicon Valley and the church and Christianity. So I adore her. I wish I could be as fashionable and awesome as she is. I have such a girl crush on Nona.
You did, because you were like, man, she's got amazing conference clothes.
I know, she does. I'm like, how can I be like Nona when I grow up? Every day, I just think more and more about how can I be Nona. So, if she's gonna watch this later, I'm gonna be like, Nona, I just love you. I adore you. And then, Luke closed it out. And you know what? I was actually like hidden away from most of Luke's.
Yes.
The only thing I was there for, which you were not there for, was the part where he thanked us.
Yes, and I felt horrible about that.
I was there though for it, so I was there to show up and be the one person.
Yeah, good for you. No, Luke did a phenomenal job. I think what Luke did was he threw. You could say he threw shade. I say he just flat out called out Gary Vaynerchuk and that whole hustle mentality.
Hustling, yeah, hustling until you die, essentially.
Yeah, and
I am totally against that. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, and so I think his calling that out and saying, look, at the end of the day, I mean, one, you never saw Jesus hustle in that manner. One, two, and I think the crux of it was when he said, when you look at Scripture and when you see Jesus being baptized and God says, "This is
you just took naps, man."
When God says, "This is my son in whom I'm well pleased,"
yeah,
Jesus hadn't started his ministry yet. Jesus hadn't done a thing.
I know, isn't that crazy? Yeah, he did nothing for 30 years, and then he was like, "Let's start this thing up and get going for 3 years." All right, but I'm still gonna take some naps, and then I have to like tell people to be quiet while I'm taking a nap.
But God declares his pleasure in Jesus. Not in what he did, but who he is. And and I think for a lot of us as communicators, we don't
mind blowing.
Yeah, we don't often do that. Yeah. So I thought Luke did a great job. I think he was a good turn because I think in some ways we were very heavy on the comms.
Do things. Yeah.
Yeah. And which is good. I think it was good to have him come in and kind of just change up the game a little bit. So I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and I thought overall, I mean, the general sessions were great. I think.
You got any favorite moments?
I mean, my favorite moment was bringing the ministry leader from Potter's house on stage, and the guy was like, every 28 days, his congregation changes. He gets a brand new congregation
crazy.
Every 28 days, he gets a new congregation. So
I think all the cool people that we honored were really cool, and I'm glad and grateful that we got to do stuff like that because that was fun.
At the same time, you and I got to see our staff in a lot of really cool breakouts.
Yeah, that was the best. I love seeing people do things that scare them. But I also, not in like oh, you're going to like a scary house, but like something that really challenges you. Yeah, I know that you're going to be so good at it. Yeah. I mean, one of my strength finders is individualization, right? So I love because individualization just basically means I know what people are good at and trying to put them in their strengths.
Right.
And so I knew that some of these people were going to be fantastic. It was just getting them to the point of helping them believe that they were going to be fantastic.
Yeah, and some of them, to be honest with you, I knew they were going to be good. I didn't know they were going to be that good.
I already knew. I felt it in bones. I was just waiting for it.
Yeah, I would tell you, I think the standout breakout was there were two different breakouts I think that stood out. One was Adam McLaughlin's on the marketing.
Yeah, Adams was standing room only and just, knocked it out of the park. I heard so many good things.
Yeah.
Adam, if you're not watching the Ask Adam show on Fridays here on our channel, you are missing out.
Yeah, he did a phenomenal job.
You don't even have to pay for that. It's free.
It's free. All free stuff. And then the other one that we know killed it was Mallory Clark when she did one on storytelling. And she
what? Okay, that's the person I was basically saying. Like, I knew she had it in her.
Yeah.
Because she's so talented. Like, extremely talented. Not just, like, a little bit, but she really is. And then also just a phenomenal storyteller as a person. Like, I love listening to Mallory tell a story.
Yeah.
Because she does voices and like she really gets into it. It's just, I don't know. To me, that's what it's all about. Like, I can tell a really funny story. I like to think that I'm kind of funny. At least in person, like a small group, I'm funny. I'm definitely like, have you ever seen Marvelous Mrs. Maisel? Have you seen that yet?
I know of the show. I've not watched it.
Okay, yeah. So, there's a point where she's going around just to parties and just basically like making girls laugh at parties, like trying out her new comedy bits on girls at parties. And of course they go on to tell her like, that was a terrible idea. That's not real comedy, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, that's me. I'm that girl at that party who's like trying out her new stuff at parties to see if it's going to flop or not. So yeah, anyway, that was besides the point. But that's how I think about Mallory too. Like, I'm like, Mallory is hilarious and great and really talented. And it was just, I just was so happy and thrilled.
Yeah.
Todd also did a great job too.
Yeah, I think I definitely think the one thing about Mallory that threw me for a loop was when she told me beforehand what she's doing. She says, "I'm going to break down the Emperor's New Groove." I was like, "The movie?" She's like, "Yes. It's way underrated as a movie." I said, "Are you serious?" She's like, "Yes." And then I said, "Okay, let's do how it goes." And she did it. And she killed it. She did a fantastic job. So I was really, really pleased with that and what she did with that. And that was really, I know that wasn't easy for any creator for that matter. When you think about it, to come in and say, okay, you now are going to put yourself out there. That's so difficult to do.
Oh, it's terrifying. Like, I know I was terrified for a whole year speaking at that church conference, and I had this knot in my stomach that I felt like I was just gonna like pass out. But at the same time, like, I felt so grateful to have done, you know what I'm saying, to have done it and to have had that opportunity. And so I think it went so well. And Kate did an amazing job. I love listening to hers. I think a lot of people got a lot of really great practical stuff from hers, which was great. And Steve knocked it out of the park with his crisis stuff. And I know people got a lot of things out of his. So I just think our team just overperformed.
Yeah, they did. I think the best handouts have to go to Dave Allen. He did a sample branding guide handout.
Yeah, I was like, can I keep this for myself?
He was so nervous, and I was like, dude, if nothing else, your slides and everything look amazing. You'll be okay. And so I was so proud. I was so proud of all that. So yeah, I was really happy with the breakouts. We definitely get a lot of feedback though, and I definitely think something we'll think about in the future in terms of breakouts.
Information.
What's that?
People want more information.
They want more information. Probably make the breakouts slightly longer. And on top of that, maybe segment them by advanced level, like beginner, intermediate, advanced kind of thing.
Yeah. And then they want more of them. I was kind of surprised because I feel like we gave them more than any other conference that I know of.
We did 20 breakouts.
Yeah, we did 20 breakouts plus but they only got to choose 4, right? They went to 4.
No, so then I must have done 16. What? Do we only do 4? No, I thought we did.
Oh, they had 4 times that they could get 4 different sessions of breakouts.
Okay. So yeah, so technically no, then we had that would be 17 breakouts then total.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Math is hard.
No, they
didn't they have 4 different? No, they had 3 different sessions. No, you're right. They had 5.
They had 5.
Good Lord.
So 21 breakouts.
It's been a weekend, Daryl.
Because it's 21 because we added the one with Michelle Dyer where she did the personality profile.
Right. Michelle. Michelle also, right? Like, I am so glad we thought of that last minute. I don't know if anybody went to that one. I haven't really heard. I mean, I'm sure, obviously, she had a room full, so I know that a lot of people went. I wish I could have talked to someone who did go, because she is phenomenal. And so I wish I could have been a fly in that room the whole time, because I just love listening to Michelle talk.
Yes, she did. She did a phenomenal job. Yeah. So, I mean, some of the things we're thinking through are like, do you do an advanced? Do you do an intermediate? Do you do like based like tracks? Like, do you do like one where you say like, here's 5 breakouts you can do in a row, and they're all designed around somebody who's solo in the church, and they're having to do all their stuff by themselves. You know, so those are some things we're gonna think through. And by the way, we'll completely take your suggestions. So message us, whatever. If you got suggestions, then you
write it on the post.
Yeah, write it on this post right here. We'd love to hear your feedback into like how we can make it better. Also locations. You know, we did it in Nashville. We don't always have to do the conference in Nashville. You know, we could always think about doing it somewhere else. So
yeah.
So if you got,
I think our church was a great location this time, but
was.
we're open to another church. If you're like, we got a big church, come on down. Then yeah, we're open to other thoughts as well. So
yeah, I mean, we definitely want to, you know, whatever.
It was great. Brentwood Baptist was just phenomenal. Obviously our church is great, but working with our facilities team and everything went super well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Jennifer says she went and she interacted with everybody. Everybody when she interacted with, she wants to do a disc assessment. Jennifer, once you get hooked on disc and like disc profiles, and then you dive,
there's no going back.
You do disc profiles, Kersey temperaments, or Myers-Briggs if you want to call them that, and then you do Enneagrams. You do those 3, you'll be addicted to that stuff.
It's over for you. Yeah, I'm glad Jennifer went to Michelle's thing, because she's fabulous, and also I'm sure you got a lot of great stuff. We get a lot of great stuff every time we get to talk to Michelle. So
yeah,
we're just so fortunate to have a personality person on our staff. That's not normal, and I want to like acknowledge it's weird, but also amazing.
It's amazing because I go to her every once in a while and say, "Am I crazy, or are the people I work with crazy?" And so she's very kind.
And she says, "You're crazy, Daryl."
She says, "Daryl, no, you're crazy." And I go, "I agree. You're right."
You're right.
Katie, like, is there anybody, like, I got to meet a lot of.
I met so many people. I hugged so many people, and I took selfies with so many people. I wish I'm on my phone right now. I have so many phone selfies. It was just so great to hang out with the people and to meet them, and it was fun and different. And it's so weird, right, when you meet friends online, because you feel like you super know them, sure, but then or they feel like they really know you, and then it's like, oh wow, this is neat. I just loved it though. I think next time we got to figure out ways to do more chill things and more like table discussion, talk, that kind of thing.
I agree. Yeah, it was fun.
It's hard because we didn't know. Yeah, this time around we just weren't sure exactly how. You know,
the other thing was fun was it was meeting people, but I always struggle with the conference. I call it the avatar syndrome, where like your avatar on Facebook or Twitter looks like you, but not quite like you. So people come up and they'll say like, "Hey, I'm so and so," and they'll give me their first name, and I'm going, I have no clue who you are. So
but if I saw your little tiny dot, I'd totally get it.
Totally get who you are, and I was
right.
Like, okay.
There was a couple that I've been looking for, and then I realized one of my friends on Facebook, she said she was there, and then her picture's not on Facebook, so I don't think I ever met her, and I feel bad about it now because I really wanted to meet her. So maybe I did. I don't think so though. But it was great. I got to meet Sheila, who's in our group, who's fantastic, and Jennifer, and Chaska, and just so many people that who are so great and formidable and lovely. So it was great.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think we got a lot of fun people, and anytime you get to kind of actually have that real life, in depth conversation kind of stuff, it's great. Even you and I get to hang out with people who are currently mods of the Facebook group. Brandon and Adam, we don't get to see them very much.
No, not at all. So that was fantastic because they're lovely people.
Yeah, so that was really, really, really fun. Yeah, Katie, well, that's a pretty good recap of the conference. We got to meet a lot of great people, some great keynote moments, some great breakout moments. Is there anything in particular, as we close out this episode, of things or people you want to lift up, like we normally do at the end of each episode?
So some conference sponsors.
Yeah.
Is there anything we should lift up before we go to that?
No, I mean, we do want to thank Soundstripe and for churchbanners.com and Outreach and
Text in Church.
And Church Media
Church Media Squad.
All those people for pitching and helping out with the conference.
Anyone we may have forgotten.
Yes.
Yeah, they were great, and because of you, we got to eat a lot of good food. So thank you. And then Brentwood, our church.
Yes.
Thanks, church. You're the best.
Yes.
We love our church and also our team because they did almost 75% of the work that you saw.
Yeah, they did an amazing job, and they were really, really easy to work with, and so,
flexible and great.
Yes, and then I think last but not least, we definitely have to thank our team, our wonderful design team that literally made all that beautiful signage everywhere. That I don't think the buildings ever looked as good in terms of directional signage.
Yeah,
that was just absolutely Lindsay Allred, by the way, related to the one and only Katie Allred. Lindsay Allred was basically did all of the branding and art. She was art lead designer on the project, and she just absolutely just killed it.
And Dave did all the directional signage, and Todd also made some signage at some point. So everybody touched it, but Lindsay did the art direction there, and it was fabulous.
She did.
Lindsay's a wonderful designer, and I love her so much.
Yes,
she's also my sister-in-law. So
yeah, we also need to thank our video production team for doing the opening video, which was really nice of them to kind of pull that together.
Right? Didn't it feel so cool? I felt really cool after it played. I was like, okay, that was cool.
Yes. We got to thank also our production manager, Laura Chaudhry, who handled all the catering for us because she did that. I was like,
a boss.
I just looked at her and said, can you handle catering? She goes, I got it. And so she, we're talking, she hustled and did a lot of things behind the scenes that nobody saw. And I only made her freak out once, which, hey, is a win for everybody. So
yeah, she did great work. I'm just so happy and impressed with everybody because I got a lot of feelings.
Yeah, you do. Anything else, Katie, you can think of?
Skype.
Oh yes.
Okay.
We got to mention Skype again. Thanks, Skype. Is that it?
That's it.
Well, folks, thanks again for watching the Church Communications podcast or listening. By the way, if you're listening to this and it's coming out on a Monday night or Tuesday morning, don't worry. We're going to have our regular Wednesday episode. Because of conference,
we were catching up because we missed out last week because we had a conference coming up.
So if you're wondering, wait, is this week's podcast? No, we're actually going to give you two
podcasts, 1 week.
2 podcasts in 1 week. And then, of course, also Ask Adam will be doing 2 podcasts this week as well. So you're getting 4 podcasts this week from us.
I know. That's so much content, so little time.
That is a lot. So if you're listening, subscribe on iTunes or rate us on iTunes. If you're watching, if you could hit that like or share button, and if on Facebook, and if you're watching on YouTube, if you could hit the big red subscribe button, we'd appreciate that as well. So I think that's it, Katie.
Join us on the Facebook group if you're not on it.
Yes, please do. And until Wednesday, we'll see you guys then. Take care.